You're sitting there at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday and your brain is buzzing with all these incredible ideas. Tomorrow's going to be different. Tomorrow, you're going to wake up at 5 a.m., hit the gym, meal prep for the week, finally start that side project you've been thinking about for months. You're pumped. You can feel it. This is your moment. And then tomorrow comes. Your alarm goes off and suddenly that 5 a.m. version of you feels like a total stranger. You hit snooze once, twice, 3 times. By the time you drag yourself out of bed, that gym session is already gone. The meal prep? Forget about it. That side project? Maybe next week. Here's what nobody tells you about discipline. It's not about motivation. It's not about willpower. It's not even about being the kind of person who naturally wants to do hard things.
Oh yes.
The real trick to becoming unstoppable has nothing to do with any of that, and understanding this one shift in how you approach your goals changes absolutely everything. For years, people have been sold this lie that you need to feel motivated to take action. We've all seen those videos of people crushing it at 4 a.m., looking like they just stepped out of a magazine, talking about how fired up they are to attack the day.
So it's about 4:30 in the morning right now, getting ready to crush another day. Crush another day. Crush another day.
And we think that's what discipline looks like. We think successful people wake up every single morning with this burning desire to do the work. But here's the truth. Motivation is about as reliable as your internet connection during a thunderstorm. It's great when it's there, but the moment you actually need it, it completely disappears on you. Back in 2018, researchers found that people who relied on motivation to stick to their goals had about a 19% success rate after 6 months. Meanwhile, people who built systems and routines had a success rate of over 70%. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between failing and winning. Think about it like this. You wouldn't wait until you felt motivated to brush your teeth every morning. You wouldn't sit there and go, you know what, I'm just not feeling it today. My teeth can wait. No, you just do it because it's part of your routine. It's automatic. Your brain doesn't even question it. That's what real discipline looks like. It's not this epic battle between you and your lazy self every single morning. It's just having a structure in place that makes the decision for you. And the way you build that structure is completely different from what most people think. So if motivation doesn't work, what does? Here's where things get interesting. The secret to unstoppable discipline isn't doing more. It's doing less, way less, at least at first. There's this concept that productivity experts talk about called the 2-minute rule. The idea is stupidly simple. Whatever habit you want to build, whatever goal you want to achieve, you scale it down to something you can do in 2 minutes or less. Want to read more books? Don't commit to reading for an hour every day. Commit to reading 1 page. Want to work out consistently? Don't promise yourself you'll do a full hour at the gym. Promise yourself you'll do 2 push-ups. And I know what you're thinking. 2 push-ups? 1 page? That's not going to change my life. But here's the thing. It's not about the 1 page or the 2 push-ups. It's about showing up. It's about building the identity of someone who does the thing, even when they don't feel like it. James Clear talks about this in his book Atomic Habits. He says every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. So when you read that 1 page, you're voting for the identity of being a reader. When you do those 2 push-ups, you're voting for the identity of being someone who works out. And when you cast enough votes, your brain starts to believe it. Your identity starts to shift. But here's the kicker. Once you actually show up and do the 2-minute version, you almost always end up doing more. You read 1 page and think, well, I'm already here. Might as well read another. You do 2 push-ups and figure, I could probably do 10 more. The hardest part isn't doing the thing, it's starting. And when you make starting so easy that you can't say no, discipline becomes automatic. But there's another layer to this that most people completely miss, and it has everything to do with how you design your environment. Your environment is making decisions for you whether you realize it or not. Every single thing around you is either pushing you toward your goals or pulling you away from them. And if you're trying to rely on willpower to fight against a bad environment, you're going to lose every single time. Think about this. Let's say you're trying to eat healthier. Every night you tell yourself, tomorrow's the day you're going to stick to the plan. But when you wake up, there's a box of donuts on the kitchen counter and fresh vegetables buried in the back of the fridge. You haven't eaten breakfast yet, you're hungry, you're tired, and those donuts are right there, staring at you. In that moment, willpower is going up against biology, and biology wins. It wins every single time. This is why people who study behavior change say that willpower is your last resort, not your first strategy. So what's the alternative? You design your environment so that the right choice is the easy choice. You throw out the donuts. You put the vegetables front and center. You prep your meals the night before, so when you're hungry and tired, the path of least resistance leads you exactly where you want to go. Author and speaker Tim Ferriss has this saying, "Set up your life so that the default decision is the right decision." And that's what environment design is all about. It's not about being strong enough to resist temptation, it's about removing the temptation entirely. Stephen King, the guy who's written over 60 books, has been following the exact same writing routine for 30 years. Same desk, same mug of tea, same time of day. Papers arranged the exact same way. And he's done this for so long that when he sits down at that desk with that mug, his brain automatically flips into writing mode. He doesn't need motivation, he doesn't need to psych himself up, the environment triggers the behavior. You can do this with anything. If you want to work out in the morning, lay out your gym clothes the night before. Put them right next to your bed so you literally trip over them when you wake up. If you want to focus better at work, turn your phone off and put it in another room. Not on silent, off, because if it's sitting there on your desk, your brain is using energy to resist checking it. And that's energy you could be using to actually do the work. When you design your environment the right way, discipline stops being this exhausting mental battle and starts being the natural result of how your space is set up. But environment is only half the equation. The other half is understanding the real reason you're actually doing this in the first place.
Most people set goals based on outcomes. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to make 6 figures. I want to write a book. And then they wonder why they can't stick to it. Here's why. Those are all outcome-based goals. They're all about the destination. And when you're only focused on the destination, the journey feels like a chore. It feels like something you have to suffer through to get to the good part. But what if you flipped it? What if instead of focusing on the outcome, you focused on the identity? Instead of saying, I want to lose 20 pounds, you say, I want to become the type of person who takes care of their body. Instead of, I want to make 6 figures, you say, I want to become the type of person who creates massive value for others. Instead of, I want to write a book, you say, I want to become a writer. The difference seems small, but it's massive. Because when your goal is identity-based, every single action you take becomes evidence of who you are. You're not just going to the gym to lose weight. You're going to the gym because you're someone who prioritizes their health. You're not just showing up to work to hit a revenue target. You're showing up because you're someone who builds things that matter. And here's the beautiful part. When you shift your identity, the actions become easier. They stop feeling like things you have to do and start feeling like things you just do because it's who you are. There's this concept in psychology called cognitive dissonance. It's basically the uncomfortable feeling you get when your actions don't match your beliefs about yourself. So when you believe you're a healthy person, but you skip the gym and eat junk food, your brain feels that tension. And to resolve it, you either have to change your actions or change your identity. Most people change their identity. They go, I guess I'm just not a healthy person. But when you intentionally build your identity first, your brain does the opposite. It goes, wait, I'm a healthy person, so why am I skipping the gym? That doesn't make sense. And then you take action to resolve that tension. This is how discipline becomes unstoppable. It's not about forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. It's about becoming the type of person for whom those things are just a natural part of who you are. And once that shift happens, everything changes.